Hey guys, it's Paradise, and today we got a look at the third and final Monster Hunter Wilds development show livestream at Gamescom. Perhaps one of the biggest things, which we'll talk about soon, is underwater stuff. Yes, there is underwater stuff, but outside of this there wasn't that much new things, but a bunch of clarification on various mechanics that is definitely worth knowing about. They started off by talking about some more quality of life features. We've had confirmation that cutscenes are now skippable in Monster Hunter Wilds, and while we don't have full confirmation that we'll be able to start hunts with a friend regardless of seeing a cutscene, it does show that Capcom have taken that feedback from the community on the cutscenes to some extent, and in the actual demo here at Gamescom, a lot of cutscenes were skippable, although some also weren't, but it is a preview build, so it's hard to know still how it will work. It is definitely fair to say that one of the major complaints in World and Iceborne was those unskippable cutscenes that would break multiplayer lobbies apart, so this is promising news that Wilds will likely be different and keep you together with your friends when going through the story. There has also been some clarification on the support hunter system, which was mentioned before and in yesterday's stream, where they said that you'll be able to customize exactly how you want the function to work, and that includes how many actual human players you want to join you, how many AI hunters you want to join you, and it was revealed that you can actually bring 2 palicos with you on your hunts, something that has been a staple in the series but wasn't available in Monster Hunter World. On top of this, we got some clarification on various UI elements, with a big one being the new health bar graphic, which many of you will have now seen in all of the gameplay we've been putting out. Aside from the actual graphic of the health bar being completely different, they did actually give some information on a mechanic whereby when a big monster attack is about to come your way, one that could possibly incapacitate you or knock you over, your health bar will start to glow red and pulse rapidly, and this is an indication that a big attack is going to come your way, but might not necessarily be a one-shot, but more so something that's going to knock you over. Continuing on with the UI, we got a brief look at the accolade system after a hunt. The categories seem to be a bit more fleshed out than in Monster Hunter World, with things such as the amount of barrel bombs that hit the monsters, your buffs and heals that have been applied, and status effects inflicted on the monster. We were also given a look at a new environmental overview system that shows you the time limit on the different events that will happen during the hunt. Things like when the monsters are expected to leave, the current status of the day-night cycle, as well as the current weather cycle, and it's all viewed while you're looking at your map. This lets you plan your hunts a bit more optimally and know what's coming around the corner in the actual world, whether it's a change in weather or a new monster joining or leaving the locale. We also saw that the timer cooldown for each of the monsters can be viewed directly just by hovering over them on the map screen. They then briefly talked about the rewards that you will get if you have a Monster Hunter World and Monster Hunter World Iceborne save data when you boot up Wilds once it's released. So if you haven't already played World and Iceborne, it might be a good time to do it so you can get those extra goodies in Wilds. After this, there was a brief look at cooking again, but this time it was specified that the well done steak does have some sort of minigame timing within it. Veterans of the series will remember the old minigame and how it was a timing-based system, having to remove the steak before you overcook it, so there was like this sweet spot where you had to stop. Wilds adds an extra layer to this, where there's kind of like a rhythm-based cutting minigame that determines how many portions of meat you get after you've cooked it. On top of this, there's an additional condition that you have to meet in the minigame to get the classic "so tasty" callout. But unfortunately, they haven't revealed exactly how to do that just yet, and we haven't figured that out either. On top of this, we got to see something that we actually experienced ourselves in our stream of Monster Hunter Wilds today that you may have seen on the channel already, which is a demonstration of one of the pop-up camps being destroyed. So it's interesting to see that that can happen, and on our stream, we were inside of the tent when it got destroyed and you get pushed out straight into combat. Later on in the stream, they did clarify that even when your camp is destroyed, you can chat with the builder Palico that's usually just outside of it, and he can repair it for you, so it's not that big of a deal if you actually do lose a camp or two. You'll just have to go back there and build it so you can't fast travel there. Now, while we unfortunately didn't get a closer look at the newly revealed Scarlet Forest area, we did get a closer look at some of the lesser known spots within the Windsward Plains. We got to see the apex monster Raydow's Nest, which is a really cool valley area within the wind-scarred rocks. The attention to detail here is absolutely nuts, and the environment is basically set up to work in Raydow's favor if you fight him here. There's blue crystals dotted around the area that channel Raydow's static electricity and explodes when he hits them. This is an interesting layer to the hunt and something we didn't get to experience in the demo when fighting him. There's even these brand new insulator pods that negate his lightning effect a little bit, so this is a really cool space. After this, we got to see for the first time a look at a small underwater cavern where you can actually swim underwater freely and collect resources. Tokida-san was very quick to point out that this doesn't necessarily mean underwater combat is coming back, but the chat of the stream was very hyped when they saw this, and it isn't just like swimming on rails, it is free swimming underwater. So we're gonna have to leave it to our imagination if there is anything more to it. There was something pretty cool that we got to learn about the Chatacabra as well. We already know that he has a special mechanic where he covers his arms in saliva, but now we know that depending on the area he's within when he does this, it will actually affect what sticks to his arms when covered with saliva. For example, when he's in a muddy area, he can imbue his attacks with the mud that will slow you down. But if he's in a more rocky area, he will gain the rocks on his arms instead. But that pretty much wraps up the third and final developer Gamescom Monster Hunter Wilds livestream. If you didn't see our livestream, we actually played a bunch of weapons and answered a bunch of your guys' questions. We went over the hunting horn, the sword and shield, the bow, the switch axe, and there's a lot more. We packed as much as we can in that live stream, so check it out on the channel in case you missed it. But for now, make sure you keep an eye on the channel and you're subscribed below because we have lots more Monster Hunter Wilds coming your way over the next weeks and days as we digest everything we've learnt and bring it to you guys. Thank you for all of the support, and we'll see you guys next time.